He is still in the closet, y'all. He's getting premium front court tickets to watching the upcoming Orange and Black show, if you get what I'm saying. For the time being, though, the husband doesn't know much about it until Sylvester's phone starts ringing and alerting this man that someone else is in the house. Warning. Before we dive into the chaos, this video covers Trapped in the Closet chapters 1 through 12. This is strictly for entertainment, parody, and commentary. And I mean that with much importance, I do not support, endorse, or align with R. Kelly in any way. And that includes morally, spiritually, musically narratively, or in any other alternative timeline. Viewer discretion is advised, because things are about to get chaotic. Yo, let's get this started. We start this soap opera with a shot of the city with a title card, Deadbeat Edition. Sylvester, played by R. Kelly, is singing about being, well, trapped in the closet. And that's not the only place he'll be trapped in the near future.
This is not me, y'all. I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me. So I pull out my gun,
Robert.
As it turns out, he's in somebody else's crib, sleeping fully clothed, by the way, because he went and had a one-night stand. So now he's thinking, oh, heck nah, bro, I gotta skedaddle. The lady went over there is blocking his way out the door because her husband is on the way into the house. Now they are getting nervous because this dude is coming in quick. Sylvester thinking he gotta jump out the window, but they on the 5th floor. What is that going to do? Also, he has a wife and he messing around with a married woman. That's tough. Anyway, with that 5th floor issue, you're not coming back in one piece. Get ready to do some physical therapy. You decide that option, my boy. He then decides to get into the closet and she drops her whole wig coming in. And his face says it all, bruh. He got bamboozled meeting her at the club. The husband then enters into the apartment and they immediately start getting freaky while bro is in the closet. He is still in the closet, y'all. He's getting premium front court tickets to watching the upcoming Orange and Black show, if you get what I'm saying. For the time being, though, the husband doesn't know much about it until Sylvester's phone starts ringing and alerting this man that someone else is in the house. He going around looking in the shower, under the bed, into the closet. Oh man, when he went to the closet, it was all done because Sylvester pulls out his old trusty Beretta as the husband opens it. The husband starts berating the wife as Sylvester tries to de-escalate the situation. And what I mean by try, I say he's failing terribly at it. Not only does he have that gun still in his hand, he starts macking saying that the chick chose him to cheat on. He does explain though that he met her at the club and that she was single when she talked to him about it. The husband then states that he is a pastor and Sylvester is actually down with the Christian activity. Why can't they be Christian like? It's like King Volley always said, stop gun violence looking. Anyways, Sylvester trying to get up out the apartment, but the husband is wanting him to stay so he can reveal some crazy stuff to them. He starts calling somebody and it turns out he is cheating too. You can say he's coming out the closet about it. The pastor was edging this situation so hard, Sylvester was about to crash and suit up on them. But it turns out it was a man that the pastor was seeing. Bruh, 2 chapters in, and this joint is getting crazier by the second. Sylvester and the wife are in pure shock. Sylvester, he tried to deny that the pastor is gay, like the dude is not there right in front of him. Through exposition though, we find out that the pastor's name is Rufus, and the wife is hurt about all this stuff despite the fact that she is cheating, club hopping, and lying behind his back. I'm not even on Rufus' side either, they're both hot messes. This ends up to Sylvester crashing out more before the lover named Chuck starts explaining more in detail how he met Rufus. They had known each other for a year and they'd been sticking around hotels because Rufus' status is, well, bro's a pastor. And I know it's 2005, but R. Kelly, come on, man. You talking about, I don't want to hear about this affair, bro. If it was a lady, you'd be all up on that, wouldn't you? Then the wife starts crashing out, which ends up Rufus blurting out her name, which is Kathy. But she introduced herself as married to Sylvester at the club. She done caught herself in a huge web. Sylvester is all confused from the chaos and says, screw it, I'm gonna shoot somebody. Like, dang, bruh, come on. Rufus blames Kathy, which ends up getting Chuck and Kathy to argue at each other, which leads to Sylvester throwing up one in the air, like, because screw whoever's on the 6th floor, huh? Somebody could just be ended up dead and be all your fault. He then gets a call from his house, but it's a random man that he does not know, as if this man's day couldn't get even more bizarre. Now he driving, hitting 85 on the road trying to get to his house because for all he knows, it might be a random man clapping his wife or a robber stealing out of stuff in his house. He feeding to shoot somebody for real on the road. This man cannot chill for one singular second because he making poor decisions as the cop pulls him over because He's driving 85 on the road. We meet a milk dud of a cop laying down the law. Sylvester's trying to appeal, but the cop ain't listening to none of that what he's saying, and he's giving him a ticket. He does make it to the house though, and he sees 2 people in the shower, but it was all a genjutsu as it was just his wife. She then explains that it was most likely her brother Twan, and now he just feels silly for thinking it was somebody else. He forgot even why he came home today. So what does he deserve after all this clapping cheeks, all this action? More cheeks, buddy, yes sir. Why did they add a sex scene? They start freaking and boning. She notices that a ripped Common rapper hides under the sheets. Oh my goodness. There is another person in this house. She starts being up on top and realizing she's no longer playing point guard. She is controlling the point. To the point where he starts catching cramps. She ODing to the point I don't think he was ready for all that. Either way, he gets her offer and finds the hidden rubber rapper. Yeah, GG's bruh. He starts pressing her about the rapper and she is speechless, and he said, yeah, you about to be breathless. Like, bruh, this man is a crash out. He starts to pull out All Reliable, his Beretta, and ask her if the man is still in the house. She states he left after Sylvester called. He may be mad, but turns out the situation revealing that she knows the whole affair with Kathy because she was at the club too. My god, man, everybody cheating in the story. Bunch of yapping, and he starts asking what the dude's name is. She's scared because she knows what this man Sylvester might do. Yeah, shoot, I would be too. He might have already caught a body just shooting up a gun in there. She yelling out names like Tina and Roxanne, straight not getting to the point. She talking like she's some Naruto Infinite Tsukiyomi episode, just straight filler, bruh. But eventually, Roxanne is associated with Chuck, who we know is the pastor's lover. Turns out she and Kathy, the pastor's wife, went to high school together, and Kathy introduced him to the Jamaican police officer that stopped him before he got caught. Not only did that man clap his wife's cheeks, he gave him a ticket. Oh God, Jehovah Jireh, bless the crash out right now. However though, he just laughs, laughing at all of the absurdity of the nonsense he's gone so far in these chapters. Meanwhile, we get to the greatest character in the series, Twan, or as I like to call him, Terror Twan. You'll see later. Let's just say now he just got on them county blues. Sylvester and his wife, Gwendolyn. Did I mention her name was Gwendolyn? I don't think I did, but anyways, they just giggling as he recapping the story so far. Meanwhile, the cop decides to go back into the house like, dog, what are you doing? You see the doors open, and oh man, that's just how you know his trigger finger was just activated. His perk just went up. His misunderstanding signal went up as well, as the worst words get said in the worst context of all time. The cop's name is James, and he's about to shoot Sylvester. Where is the body cam where you need it? Well, it doesn't matter anyways, as Sylvester pulls out his Requiem, that Beretta once again. How about we put an over and under on him and Leon, bruh? James decides to rage bait as he puts the gun down, and this is the worst possible situation, Sylvester. If he beats you, it's a melee battery that you're getting charged, resisting arrest, all that. All of a sudden during the scuffle though, the gun goes off. Now we don't know who got shot, but there's blood everywhere. They freaking out because who in the heck got shot there for there to be so much strawberry jam? It don't matter either way because James made a decision to aim back at Sylvester to protect his career, and he got a wife at home, so everybody cheating up here, bruh. The heck is this, Mary Love Island? We still don't even know who the body is coming from because realistically, who the heck is coming up in the house? Well, we figured that up soon enough because it's Twan who ends up getting shot and now he's dead. Bro was impaled down for a couple of years and got turned into a donut. Ace can possibly relate. The three just start arguing about who is in the wrong. Meanwhile, Twan is coughing. The goat truly lives. He just had a bullet hole in his shoulder. Bro says all he needed was a bathroom to take care of the room. Resident Evil wishes they had this protagonist with this type of energy. He patches himself up at the door though, and suddenly there's a knock. Sylvester is pissed right now because he knows there's just more chaos on his plate. When is this shit gonna end? Not about to handle more BS, and James trying to little bro him in front of his wife, but he just hits inventory slot number 1 for his Beretta, and Terror Twan, fresh out of Chicago prison, where he probably met the spiritual manifestation of King Von, is down with the hood chaos. He pulls the cop's gun and tells him to arrest him later like, bro, you just got out of the pen. But I like that energy, man. I love it. I love it. They open the door to see it's just Rosie, the noisy neighbor, coming out with a spatula like she just had an affair with SpongeBob. What was her plan, bro? Twan was low-key still trying to up the pole because Sylvester had to pull that gun down. James decides to leave while Gwendolyn invited Rosie into the house. He ends up calling his wife, and I knew it. I knew it. This man is Jamaican. I know what you are, James. I know what you are. Anyway, he heading back into the house and she rushing, and I figure, oh, she cheating too, because what else has anybody done in this entire show? She trying to keep him away from the kitchen, but he's just gonna go ahead and reheat some chicken. And then R. Kelly just gonna say straight up in the lyrics that she cheating, bruh. No speculation or nothing. Oh my goodness. Bridget, the wife's name, is freaking out, and now he's saying if she's been doing wrong, he gonna cap somebody. The spirit of King Von lives strong within these men, like it's an ignorant status buff. Something falls in the house though, and he starts to investigate. He saw that the cherry pie that she made for him is on the table. However though, Bridget is allergic to cherries. She ballsy for cooking that up herself, but I guess it's just a mild allergy, honestly. He started looking into the cabinets and she tries to block him, but to no avail. And I'm not even going to try to explain it myself. I'm just going to let the piss man explain it, honestly.
But what the hell?
James and the man start brawling as the man starts screaming to Bridget. She then starts going up the stairs to call somebody for help. James starts exercising his rights and plans on shooting the dude for trespassing, which in turn makes him poop his pants. Bridget ends up calling Kathy because she saw her lineup, which means I don't know why you would call her out of all people, but okay. Anyway, Sylvester and Twan are basically in a side quest trying to de-escalate the situation. Bridget out there with a whole Fortnite pump shotgun about to shoot James, then he aims his gun screaming, "We all gonna die up in this kitchen." Oh my goodness, the escalation is too much for me right now. With Twan and Sylvester in the house, the short guy faints. Same man, this is honestly too much. The escalation quest begins, but Tara Twan itching to shoot somebody. Sylvester gotta calm him down and say, "Come on bruh, chill out." Bridget states she will put down the pump shotgun if James does not hurt Big Man, which is the name of the short dude. Everyone else besides Bridget and Big Man trying to hold out the laughter, because the reason is he's called that is because he's blessed downstairs. Sylvester starts thinking he should have never went to that club, then Big Man states that's where they know him from. This is where James addresses Sylvester and Twan as Rufus and Chuck, not realizing that that's not their names. Now that leaves more questions to how he knows those two. Meanwhile, Bridget's water breaks and it turns out she's 3 months pregnant?
Oh shit!
James then points his gun at Sylvester and Twan, trying to get them out of the house. Twan about ready to crash out because who do you think you pointing at that, bruh? Sylvester getting a call from Gwendolyn about the situation. He just says, "Hell no!" Big Man then explains that he is a male stripper and he met Bridget at a place called Dixie's where they started the whole affair. Meanwhile, Twan planning on James wanting the upgraded max slot fully loaded Barrera of Sylvester. As it looks like the peak of the escalation hits, Bridget admits that she paid for the services with Big Man. She also knew that James was cheating for a long time with Gwendolyn, but turned a blind eye. He then explains that not only is she banging Big Man, but he is the father of her child, which in turn causes Big Man to fade again. And then we back with the pastor couple and they yapping, but that's to another time. This is where I'll stop right here. Part 2 coming eventually, maybe, never, probably, I don't know. But y'all stay blessed and highly favored. Khaotic out.